Hey, what's up, everybody? And welcome to more Escape from Tarkov. Now, today is the day that I finally get to talk to you a little bit about sort of Tarkov. Let's call this the quality of life sort of thing in Tarkov. What's been sort of going on? What's on everybody's sort of mind? What's the general feel about the game? How's everybody feeling about updates and things like that? I'm just gonna explore the game a little bit and see what's what and what's coming and what we should look forward to and that sort of thing. So I'll try and get into some of the most hot topics that have been going on for the past sort of week or 2 weeks, and there's no way around this. I mean, you have to start with the netcode. Now, anybody that's been playing Tarkov for at least a couple of weeks or a couple of months, you'll know that the netcode's pretty bad. You know the lag, you know the desync, it's all there. So we were sort of waiting for a fix to come through. Now, there is a precedent of games having really bad netcode and then being fixed, and the easiest one to give you, it's Battlefield 4. I mean, that was pretty bad in the beginning. You used to get shot around corners, but it took them 2 years and eventually they did fix it. Now, I was part of the CTE, the community test environment, where we actually tested it, given the feedback, and they addressed it, and long story short, the 30 Hz servers were changed to 60, and that mostly fixed it. Now, the problem that you're going to have here is that BSG, which is Battlestate Games, don't really have their own engine. They don't have the Frostbite engine. So that's never going to be something that they can just go, yep, we'll just go ahead and fix that just like that. The problem is they have a Unity engine, which is not a bad engine, but it's not a good engine either. I mean, I personally think that, sure, if you're going to probably with Unreal Engine, you would have done slightly better because he has the better options for it. But whatever, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Whatever they went with that's what they went with, and they've done wonders in Unity. Now, Unity will have a major update this year, so hopefully they will change from this version to the next version, and that should help quite a lot. I mean, one of the basic things that we want to be able to fix is the grass rendering. You know, grass, bushes, that sort of thing doesn't render past, I think it's about 300 meters or something like that. So there's no really any point to the foliage being in the game because I'm in a bush and I think, okay, well, the guy's not going to see me. I'm just going to wait for him to go and move and flank or whatever. But really, if he just puts a scope on me from 300 meters plus, he can just see me and say, yep, he's just in that bush waiting for you. You know, that's one of the major things that you want fixing in the game. Or another way that you could probably do something about it is remove the scopes for now, and that would sort of solve the problem that way. Now, I know some of you out there, whoa, what you talking about removing the scopes? I'm talking about removing them for a weekend or something, just for them to try it out, just for them to test it and see how the gameplays change, how it would affect everybody else. I mean, it goes the same way with loot. Personally, I think that the dog tags are responsible for breaking the loot table and breaking the economy. There's literally no point for you to go and loot anywhere and anything now because you'd rather just stay in a bush, and I've been seeing this so much going on lately in the past couple of weeks that there's no item that you can find apart from the roller and the Bitcoin that's worth more than a dog tag in a one square box. So think of it this way. Think of any item that's worth, let's say, 20k that can go in one square box. And it cannot be the Bitcoin, and it can't be the roller. Now, you're probably thinking the red star, whatever. That's only like 12 or 14k or whatever. Same thing with the Vaseline and, you know, the really expensive thing, the scopes, the whatever you can put into one square in your gamma. It's not going to be worth 20k, so there's no point for me to go and loot. Same thing if I pick up two Vepers or whatever. They're still both weapons going to give me 26k or something like that. So I'd rather not risk going out and start shooting at people and shooting at scavs and trying to get my loot the way I used to. I'd rather just wait, see somebody move or somebody make a move on scav or trying to loot or trying to do anything, and I'll just shoot him from a bush and I'll pick up his tag. And because it's been, I don't know, about 2 months or whatever it's been since the last wipe, chances are it's going to be at least level 30, 40 or whatever, so I'm going to get maybe even more for it. I mean, level 30 plus 40, I'm getting 38, 40k, 50k for a dog tag. So there's literally no point to looting anymore, and that has to change because that completely broke the economy, and it broke the way that the game plays. Now, if I go back to patch day and when we had the last wipe, which was a couple of months ago, there was about 30 to 40,000 people playing and watching the game on Twitch, on streams. right now is down to 3,000. Now, that's due to the lack of content, is due to people sort of taking a break from the game, waiting for them to get more content in the game, get more patches. You know, there needs to be sort of something happening most of the time fairly quick. I'm not saying that you should have an update every week, but let's say if you have one every 3 weeks, every sort of 4 weeks, every month or whatever, it's new content and stuff that you want to keep you going. Now, if I were to just buy the game and not really make any videos from it and not really stream the game or anything like that, I wouldn't mind, and I don't particularly mind at this stage, if they're going to take an extra 3 months to fix things. If they're going to take that time, fair enough, take all you need, just make sure you do it right, and whenever it's ready, it's ready. Now, you got to look at it from a content creator's point of view. He needs to have something going in the game in order for him to keep on sort of promoting and playing the game. You can only do the same thing so many times over and over and over again until it gets boring. And you'll be, well, you've killed 6 dudes in the previous raid, in the previous video 2 days ago. And then you're probably going to do the same in the next video and the next video. And then due to the FPS not being the best and due to the engine not being the best, you kind of stuck to playing 2 maps. You know, I know people in the Discord that literally only play Factory because they can't run any other maps. They can, but they'll run at sort of lower than 30 FPS and basically unplayable. Now, personally, I can play all the maps apart from Shoreline. Shoreline is one of those maps where I would really love to play. It's a big, it's open map. It's nice. There's a lot of opportunities for flanking, for all sorts of cool stuff to happen in there. But because it's so volatile, it's always up and down. Now it's 12 frames, now it's 19, now it's 26, now it's 40. It's just all over the place. And trying to record something in that sort of fashion is just absolute horrible when it comes down to rendering. It's just going to be so many freezes and dips in there that's going to make the video look really weird, and there's not really much you can do about that. Well, there is. I mean, buy a better processor and a GTX 1080 Ti or something, and then there you go. That's your problem fixed. But overall, you're not going to have everybody using a supercomputer to play your game. So that's one of the most important things for you to fix, is fixing performance and fixing frame rate and fixing things like that, where you can, right there, you can see it just absolutely froze. You know, those are the couple of things that will annoy people, and they'll get to the point where, nope, I'm just going to take a break and I'm just going to wait for this to get fixed. And that's what's causing sort of the dips, ups and downs into games. You know, most games will have, like I mentioned earlier on, you'll have people that sort of, okay, I played it a little bit for a couple of weeks, I've seen what's new, that's it, I'm done, and I'll just wait for new stuff to come back into the game, and I'll just come back into it. Now, if I may go back to the game itself and how the game plays, I would say is very campy now. That's because we've covered that in the earlier part of the video. Rather just sit in the bush and get your dog tag, that's going to make more money out of that, out of everything. I still think that the dog tags are a great idea, that you should see who you've killed and you can get his tags and you know his name and you can send him a message, or you could be a streamer, YouTuber, whatever, your brother, your cousin, doesn't matter who it is, or your friend. You can still take them, but they should have no monetary value whatsoever, because that way you'll be pushed back into the raids, you'll be pushed back to looting. If you've missed the good boxes, the good loot places, and you haven't got there in time, then basically you're risking all your gear for kind of nothing, unless you manage to kill a couple of players and take a bit of loot off them. But you should still be able to loot, and you should still be able to loot containers and safes and things like that, and that should be your main source of income. Now, there is other things that don't make any sense in the game. I mean, I was talking about this on the stream, like the price difference between the DMRs. You know, you have the RAS and the SKS. Basically, the RS is almost $3,000, which comes out to like nearly 300,000 rubles, when I can just buy the SKS with a Packer and the Kiva and the suppressor and the ammo and everything else for less than 100k. So why would I pay triple for it? I know he has different kind of ammo, and I know he has armor penetration, thing like that, but I can still use the PS ammo and tap somebody in the head through Kiva with the SKS. So I mean, that's too much of a difference in there. There's lots of little things that they still need to sort of look into the game, but those are not some of the biggest issues in the game. I mean, obviously, some of the biggest things that we want to see addressed early on, it's obviously your netcode, your lag, your desync, that sort of thing, and those are going to make the things a little bit better, and hopefully we'll get some more content. And I'm really having my fingers crossed that the next update, which is not final by the way, I'm still hoping that they might just include in there new location to open, which is going to be obviously the new map, so hopefully we'll see that too. So that's it for me on the first sort of quality of life video. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. I'll give you sort of my 2 cents about what's going on in Tarkov, some of the things, how I see them, how we need to sort of look into what we can do, what can we do to address them, and maybe we can give some feedback back to the devs. Hopefully this is something that you'll come up to yourself and say, okay, well, this is kind of the way I see things, this is the way I see it working, and that can only be a good thing for the community if you give them a couple of discussions and some sort of strong, good, constructive criticism, feedback, whatever you want to call it. As long as we give them that, then hopefully they'll listen and things can only be better for us in the long run. Hopefully enjoy the video. I'll see you in the next one. And just a last word before we go. Now, you know that one guy in the chat that's always getting triggered by, why didn't you pick up that? You left his black rock on him, you nab. Take it. Well, this is why I don't really loot that much.